I thought I was watching wrestling.
All right, here we are. It's Keefe Madness on the Rich Keefe Show with Andy Hart, WEEI. And this past weekend was the two-night affair, WrestleMania 40. Hart, I know you watched it. And how about this? It was the biggest WrestleMania gate ever, the most viewed WrestleMania ever, the most social WrestleMania ever, and the highest WrestleMania merchandise sales ever.
So they had a good weekend.
It was like the most streamed entertainment event. It was on Peacock, and it was at the Link in Philadelphia where the Eagles play, and they banged it out both nights. Then they followed up. I think they were at the Wells Fargo Center last night for Monday Night Raw, and I was watching Raw because the Raw after Mania is always like crazy, and there's like things happen, whatever. They had the biggest sellout ever that they didn't bring like their jumbo screen, because normally the jumbo screen blocks out a bunch of seats, so they had to like redo how they had like their entrance because they wanted to fit as many people in there as possible. But this whole finish the story thing sort of took off, and really over the last 4 months it's been all everybody in the wrestling world has been talking about, and that's exactly what they did. All right, as a casual wrestling fan that you are, how did you what did you think of the two-night WrestleMania?
So we're spoiling things, right?
Yeah, I mean it's 2 days old and they're putting it all over social media.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was champ for like 1,300 days.
Yeah.
He had some insane run. These guys wrestled last WrestleMania where everybody thought Cody was going to win then, and he didn't. Roman won, kept the belt for another full year, and then ultimately lost to Cody, and they wrestled on both nights. It was a tag team match on Saturday. It was Cody and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and The Rock, who really brought a lot of eyeballs back to wrestling, especially people our age that kind of grew up on The Rock.
He brought my eyeballs back.
And yeah, Joe, I mean, a lot of people that weren't watching wrestling were like, hey, that's great. Like, maybe you've heard of Roman Reigns, maybe you've heard of Cody. Everyone's heard of The Rock. He's back. He looks like $1,010,000. And he had a full-on tag team match on Saturday, and then
one of the longest main events in history or something.
It was a long go.
Yeah,
and then Sunday night he was also a part of it because it was a one-on-one match, but bloodline rules.
Yep. What does that mean? No one knows.
Anything goes, I think. And so they had a bunch of run-ins, which I love the run-ins. I am a sucker for the run-in.
Everybody is.
Yeah,
I think like elitist wrestling fans would probably say like that's cheap.
Just wrestle the match,
right?
Yeah, not me.
But everybody else loves it. Like that music. The gong, the darkness, whatever.
Those last 5 minutes, my jaw could not be lifted off the floor.
It was chaos. So it was Cody and Roman, and they're having a nice match. And then one of the Uso brothers comes running out. Then the other Uso brother runs out. They had a feud and a match the night before. Then Solo Sikoa, who's the Usos' younger brother, also part of the bloodline, he comes out. Then John Cena's music hits, which is always a big pop. People love when John Cena's music hits. Then The Rock comes out. You're like, all right, here comes The Rock.
What is going on?
Seth Rollins comes out dressed in his old Shield gear from when he was teammates with Roman Reigns. Like, what the hell's happening here? And then when The Rock's in the middle of the ring, lights go out, Undertaker shows up, chokeslams The Rock, and then Cody ends up finishing the match, finishing the story, and winning the title. One thing I would say is I'm 99% sure that the Undertaker spot was supposed to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, really?
100% agree.
100%. So one of the Monday Night Raws leading up to Mania, Rock was beating the crap out of Cody, pulls him outside of the arena, and they're in front of a huge WWE semi-truck.
Yep.
And the two pictures on the truck are John Cena and Stone Cold. And they don't talk about it, they just show it. And then somebody online was like, the real truck that they're driving around is like Rhea Ripley and like Roman Reigns or something. It's not even, so they clearly put those two in together. Plus, The Rock has a much longer history with Stone Cold. 3 WrestleMania matches with Stone Cold. And it would have been glass break, same reaction.
Both cool.
Stone Cold Stunner. Yeah, Undertaker is very synonymous with WrestleMania, so I think that's cool too.
And he pulled it off. I was a little worried when I saw him, like, I hope he can do the choke slam.
Yeah, he can't do much.
And because remember that terrible Goldberg Undertaker in Saudi Arabia, whatever?
He even had a match with Roman Reigns actually a few years ago at Mania, and that was a rough go.
But they pulled off the...
Yeah, it was good.
So it was awesome. And I do think, the glass breaking is iconic. So's the Dark Arena.
Oh, yeah.
And he's there and he's not there. And it's over. Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not have enjoyed it more. And I also enjoyed the tag match and the tying together of the two nights, because I'm not the biggest of fan of
two nights.
Well,
they were doing like one night for a while, and it was like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
And our guy Jason Rossi went to a bunch of those, and he was like, it was insane. He's like, you don't know when you're supposed to go to the bathroom and get snacks, and you're just like, you're there so early, and you don't leave till late. So they have so much talent now that they're like, all right, let's split it up, make it fair, rather than squeezing people out of WrestleMania. And they're selling them out. As long as people are watching and going, they'll keep doing this.
Although I did notice. Did you notice at the end of night 1 on the screen, it did say select seats still available for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
I was like, interesting.
How is that possible?
And I don't think they had as many people on night 2.
Maybe not.
Because I feel like it
weird.
didn't double the number, because they announced something.
72,000 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It was a big crowd, but...
So, whatever. I thought it was a good show. I really enjoyed more matches than just...
Yes.
I thought I would just superficially like The Rock and the whole storyline. The Logan Paul match
Logan Paul's good.
was good.
He's good.
With Prime and whatever. I didn't know necessarily who the guy in the Prime costume was. My daughter was like, hey, that's...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who she said.
Anybody in high school would know who this guy is. He's got like millions of followers.
It was a good kick.
Randy Orton booted him, and I'm sure it was just for play, but maybe it wasn't. That guy was tweeting about it with a neck brace on, being like, WWE's real.
Right.
It's like,
it was like when the Patriot mascot got tackled by one of the Jets players or whatever.
Pat Patriot, Jamal Adams.
Yeah, Jamal Adams hit him.
Legit hurt.
There was a good match. There was a ladder match that was really good for the tag titles.
The ladder match was great on night 1 because they had both tag titles on the line, and it was like 12 guys in the ring.
Yeah, it was awesome.
They were going crazy. Also,
classic ladder match, too.
Yeah,
it was. Slow walk up the ladder. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I'm going to take my time because that guy needs to get up here.
Well, then at one point, the ladder was like broken.
Oh, yeah,
and I was like, are they going to use this?
But then they brought a new ladder.
Yeah,
they always get extra ladders.
Plenty of ladders.
There was a great, a spot or whatever?
Yeah, big spot.
The slingshot off the ropes was that the Mysterio match? No, because the Mysterios were the Kelseys.
Oh yeah, so Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson
came in.
So like even the matches that might not have been a big build, or like to the casual fan there wasn't a lot, they had something like that.
And I'm a cash now. Like I don't watch it every week, and I thought they were all they had a hook in almost every match.
They definitely did. Even that Philadelphia street
McIntyre
fight. Oh, Drew McIntyre
with
Seth Rollins, he beats him, but then
CM
Damian
Punk
Priest, CM Punk stops him,
and then he comes down. Boom, that was cool.
And so he cashed in his Money in the Bank, which is a nice little. You can get a title match.
Stinks.
You gonna say Pat McAfee?
Yeah, he kind of stinks at that job.
I think he's pretty good with Cole and Corey because he also does Monday Night Raw with just Cole.
I think he says a lot of stupid stuff.
Well, that's kind of the job.
No, but it's not like intentional stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah. I liked. Speaking of commentary for the, it was Philadelphia Street Fight is what they called it. It was like a 3-on-3 match.
Oh yeah,
Bubba Ray Dudley was the special guest referee. It's Snoop Dogg on commentary.
Oh,
and he was hilarious.
But that's my point.
Yeah,
he was better than Pat McAfee.
He was way better.
He was tremendous.
Snoop was so good.
He's a natural entertainer. Like when you say entertainer,
Snoop.
He entertains.
They did
anything you want him to do.
Yeah,
like he's doing cooking shows with Martha Stewart. He's doing hardcore rap. He's doing.
Did you see him commentate with Kevin Hart during the Olympics? Oh, he does the
mongoose
too.
Yeah,
the mongoose is unbelievable. But he did, and like Kevin Hart is one of the most famous comedians in the world, and he and Snoop are like commentating like Olympic events. Every funny thing said was from Snoop.
Yeah.
All Kevin Hart did was repeat what Snoop said.
And that's where I say he is a true entertainer in every sense of the word.
But it was a good card. I think they also did a good job of like starting at 7 and they were pretty much done at 11. It wasn't like
except the first night. I didn't know
I missed the first hour. So did I.
Because I like the pomp and circumstance of opening of WrestleMania.
I do too.
The anthem, America the Beautiful, the fireworks, whatever we're doing.
I love a big entrance. I'm a big entrance guy.
Cena didn't look great running down the ramp.
No, and like everybody's pointing out too, like he's really bald in the back now. And
also
he kept
really white.
He kept adjusting his hair.
Well, yeah, because you got to cover the bald spot.
Yeah, but it wasn't working.
No,
but he kept touching his hair. So my guess is
he did hint on Pat McAfee like next year could be like one last run.
Yeah, he did say he wants to put Hollywood on hold for one last run or something because he wants to be sub 50. He doesn't. He's like put a limit on himself.
Oh yeah, he's gonna stop.
50 years old.
Yeah. But he also was at Monday Night Raw last night. He appeared, ran in on a match, and did that.
What happened last night? Anything that I need to know about? What did The Rock do?
So The Rock basically came out they started, I swear it was about an hour commercial free. They must have gone way over their time. The Rock. So basically, Triple H came out first and was like, "Hey, like it's a new era. Great. Roman Reigns, great run, but like the new era now. Here's Cody. Cody comes out, very emotional. The crowd's going crazy. It's the best crowd. Some think it's too much because they like hijacked the show. They had to like dump them a bunch of times because they were swearing. They were booing Rock. Rock couldn't even get a word out. They were booing Rock. They were telling him to shut the bleep up and like chanting it. It was really good. I think even The Rock was kind of flustered by how it was going, but. Long story short, Rock kind of left it with like, hey, Cody, like, I'll be back. And when I come back, it's for you, whether it's for the title or not. Like, I'm coming for you. And then he handed him something, and you don't know what it is. And he's like, I'm assuming it's something from Dusty, Cody's father. It was kind of awkward. And then at one point, so Cody has his title belt, right? And The Rock's like, hey, Cody, can I hold your title? And he's like, what? And he's like, can I hold your belt? He's like, I've held every belt ever. I've never held that one. And then you know how the crowd normally chants, like, this is awesome? They were chanting, this is awkward. Like, this is awkward. So it was good. Like, it was pretty good. No, I didn't watch the entire thing, but I don't think there was any, like, shocking, like, returns or things like that. But they kind of set up some of the new title holders and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But, like, I always watch a little bit right after the fact, too. And then maybe I'll pick it up.
And it fades.
It fades. And then maybe I'll watch SummerSlam. And then I'll start up again at Rumble. And
no,
whatever.
I enjoyed it. I told you I was as interested heading in as I'd been in maybe since WrestleMania 6 and the Warrior.
Yeah.
And I left it as entertained as I have been in a long time.
Yeah, it's good.
And there was even, you were kind of battling various sporting events. So
it was brutal. You had
what was I clicking back and forth to?
Was it the final? Well, on Saturday,
Saturday was the Final Four.
Yeah, the Final Four.
And you had a great setup on Sunday. You had the women's title game
at 3,
directly right into
which was so much better.
I love sexism.
I didn't want Caitlin Clark to be playing head to head with WrestleMania.
Right. She should be at 9:00 at night.
Well,
why is she not worthy of primetime? All these stupid primetime rules and why we got to play every freaking championship game at like 9:10 and the women kick off at
18.7 million
or whatever. Right. That just proved, by the way.
Yeah.
They'll watch.
Well, it was also great. On Saturday night, my wife's like, "Are you gonna watch? You watching the Final Four?" And I was like, "No, Mania's on." She's like, "What?" She's like, "I'm like, yeah, Mania's on."
You work in sports radio, but I do a DORKcast too.
I think more people watch Mania, though, than UConn, Alabama. Don't you think?
Oh, I would assume so.
I think the women's ratings were way better. The WrestleMania ratings were way better. So we can get into college basketball as well. It was a big weekend for Mania, yes, but also men's and women's college basketball. We'll get to that. 3 hours down, 1 hour to go on the Rich Keefe Show with Andy Hart here on WEEI.